Where does the king keep his armies?
I don't know.
In his sleeveys.
Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour. Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour.
Don't waste my motherfucking time!
I'll be honest, sometimes I wonder why I give you a microphone, Victor. You are very lucky to be off in Maryland where I cannot turn you off and steal your microphone.
That's the best joke ever.
It's not the best joke ever. My goodness.
Sleeveys.
People just turned off. They just were like, nope, I'm not going to listen to that at all.
It's genius. It's genius.
That's very bad is what that is. But it's we aren't going to need our sleeveys much longer because it is now starting to end winter, right? One of the things that we know that winter is coming to a close is the Winter Olympics are winding down. So we are going to no longer have that sweet moment of coming home late at night, turning on curling, and just watching something we do not understand at all.
Yeah.
And falling asleep.
I know. It's so amazing, though, because you just sit there thinking, there has to be some type of order to this sport, and I don't get it at all. And unfortunately, you're going to come home, that'll be gone, and all that will be there to replace it is two ignorant, uninformed, ill-advised, self-deprecating morons ranting about opinions they have no right to have, which are probably wrong and absolutely do not matter. Our goal here at Another Wasted Hour is to convince you that where we hail from, just outside Washington, D.C., is not just a city of politics and scandals, but one brimming with art, music, and culture. As impossible as that may seem. So listeners, now that you know why you're here, I'm Keith and my co-host is Victor. Say hi, Victor.
What's going on?
More importantly, straight from the herd, we have Buffalo 40, the one and only Rich.
Ew.
And Adam.
Hello there.
Hi, guys. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Is that the sound a buffalo makes?
Hello there. Yeah, that's exactly what the sound of buffalo makes.
A mating buffalo is what that was. We were
I'm
listening
a little
to.
turned on. I'm a little turned on. Just a bit.
It's like
So what is your favorite Winter Olympic sport to watch?
I'm going to be completely honest with you. The Winter Olympics is they're terrible.
They're the lesser of the Olympics?
They are. Well, listen, the women hockey team coming home with gold is an exciting
America curling.
Well, that was where the next one I was get to. There's two exciting things that went down in this year's Olympics.
Sure.
And it was curling and women hockey, and they were both terrific. But they both happened at like 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock at night, so no one could actually watch it. So it's your entry is like
awake?
you come home at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I'd come home. My wife is like really deep into it,
Yeah.
but I don't know if that's like pre-recorded. It says live, but everything says live, so I don't really understand exactly what's going on when it's ever happening.
Right, because they pre-recorded the word live on the recording,
So-
which is disingenuous, right?
The
They're
whole
lying to
thing is
us.
just a lie.
Yeah. I think there was also one more. We had Sean White. He got
True.
gold on
true.
the half pipe.
Yep.
That was pretty
And
awesome.
what's this dude, Red, actually kind of won it for me, but it was early on, so people forgot about him.
Right.
The big air kid.
Yeah, did you hear
That's
about him?
right.
Did you hear about him?
His family stayed in South Korea to drink beer while he came back and did interviews with Jimmy Fallon.
They were like, have fun back home where we got sake here.
He was the winner of the Olympics.
He
for me.
slept in the day of the event, too.
Did he?
Yeah.
He almost missed the event. Yeah.
He's like 16. It feels good.
Oh, of course.
I never answered your question though. I don't have a really good answer for it, but I think if I were to like the speed skating to me is the most entertaining. So if we just took one skate off of all of them and we just did 1 foot speed skating, so people would just kind of
put that curling boot on the other foot.
like maybe a curling boot or whatever you want to do, but just like kind of trying to like work their
Regular
way
sneaker.
around. You can't see me because I'm on radio, but I'm doing it.
We're doing a
vividly.
visual gag on radio,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
You can see it in your head. You can
So,
see
man,
how
I
that
do it
would
all
be
the time.
interesting.
Yeah, so what they have for curling is one of the shoes just has Teflon on the bottom, and the
Yeah.
other one's just a shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I surprisingly know more about curling than you would ever expect. There's apparently a place up in Laurel, Maryland, where you can like learn how to curl. You go up there, you pay $20 like for 4 hours. They have an open house like twice a year, and you just go curling. And so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a hipster and go curling. Sure.
My cousin, I'm from the Boston area. He was on the local news. Paul, Adam
No
knows
way.
Paul.
Yeah.
He is a vivid curler in the Boston market.
He kinda was
Vivid.
Yeah, very
Vivid
colorful.
curler.
He's very
only wears
colorful.
bright
he
colors.
wears jean
Did
jackets.
you mean avid curler?
Avid.
No. When he is like fireworks when he shoots.
Right.
He's
I
an
stand corrected.
aphid curler in the Boston area. Yep, he is a antlion curler.
He's terrified of ladybugs.
Yes. The thing that I think is weird about curling, though, is like, I think we've taken this gender thing a little too far. So, like, I understand when it came to hockey why we have women's hockey and we have men's hockey, right? There are certain advantages that they're just physically when you have big hulking guys flying around the ice. In hockey, that you're going to have disadvantages if you're a smaller frame and women. In general, there are some women that are way bigger than men and way stronger. But if you just take an overall average, right? None of that is true in curling. Like, yeah, you have to you throw the rock down the ice. But if you
throw.
yeah, I mean, you're skirting it down the ice, but you're pushing a rock down the ice. So there's some strength there.
Yeah.
But if you're too strong, it's worse, right? Like,
Sure.
there's no advantage to getting the rock down there at any more of a pace, really.
You just got to do it right.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I feel like, yeah, you're right. It doesn't matter what you have between your legs. You could probably get good at skirting a rock down the ice.
Skirting.
Yeah, I
You
feel
nailed
like
it.
I feel like a female curler can be just as good as any male curler. There's no advantage there, right?
I don't
Now,
want to
that's-
be. Go ahead, Victor.
Sorry, that being said, we definitely don't want to pay them as much.
Right. That's
Well,
the key.
sure. Well, they're not worth as much.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Sorry, Mom. I don't want to be, the guy in the room. But I don't know if you guys have ever tried curling before.
I did. I told you I tried. It's
So-
like you're not listening to me.
No, it's
He's been
when
up the lead.
I
He's been
said
up-
I
went
went
up there.
curling.
No.
Pete's
You
been
talk, I
sensitive
talk.
lately.
I put the thing away. I drink my beer. I think it's all in your hips. Like you have to kind of center and balance.
Yeah.
And it's just in your thigh situation.
Is it?
And yes.
right.
And all of that is just sore for me all the time. So
you should
I'm
try.
not good at it at
Yeah.
all. I just fall over.
You could do the
That happens
squirting
when you
thing.
get birth.
Scrubs.
I
That's
could
not necessarily-
maybe if you gave me a broom long enough where I didn't have to bend over.
Yeah, that's not
Be
as
sore
hip
anyways.
related. Yeah.
He's just be sore.
I think that here's the thing. Here's how I know that there's not really that much of a difference between men curling and women's curling.
Why is that?
The men got gold in men's curling, and they gave them the women's gold curling medals.
Ooh.
Did you hear about this?
Big psych out.
This is the first I've heard about
Yeah,
this.
so they stepped off the podium. They're like, "Great job, guys!" And they're like, "Look at this. This is awesome. It has women's curling on it." Oh, yeah. I assume that they knew it right off.
Right off the bat?
They put the medal on it. They're like, "This seems like it's only 72% the size it should be."
Oh,
So I'm
man.
guessing this is the women's
Women's.
gold, right?
See, but now that's going to be a collector's item later.
Yeah. But how funny is that they were like,
That-
"This isn't our medal."
That's true though. You're not making that up.
That happened.
No, it did
That-
happen.
That actually brings up a question to me. Do they make how in advance do they make those medals?
I would think way in advance.
But they are the actually gold and actual silver and
Well, does
actual
it just
bronze?
say men's, women? Does it just
And
say
if they
women's
don't-
curling? Is
Yeah.
that okay?
Yeah, just as it doesn't say U.S. gold medal.
Gold.
So they make them in advance. If they don't win them, what do they do? Melt them down and just turn them into currency somewhere?
I would assume so. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I would
If
guess.
nobody,
You're
if
making
nobody
it up.
wins them,
No.
Nobody knows. that
Nobody
question.
wins.
Nobody
Yeah.
answers that question.
They make them up. They
how
actually
does nobody win?
They actually don't do it ahead
Russia.
of time. As the event comes to a close, they're backstage smelting one from scratch.
There we go.
Yeah, because they don't know who would win.
That's the
Right.
answer.
How embarrassed were they that they put women on the one that's right there?
We knew it. We're here at the men's event. Are there any events that we're missing in the Winter Olympics? Is there anything that maybe we should have as an Olympic event that would make you watch it more? Maybe.
I mean,
Olympic snowball fight.
Olympic snowball fight would be good. I think it would be something along the lines of one of those backyard games you used to play as a kid, where you're running with an egg on a spoon on ice skates
Yeah. Okay.
across a biathlon combo. So it's egg, spoon,
Would it be-
cross the lake.
Yeah. Would it be a rally or a relay?
A rally. I think a rally
relay.
race. The relay stuff is cool, but it's too long. So this is zomp, 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 zomp. Just
Quick
quick and
action.
dirty. Quick and dirty. When eggs, they got that
Hey.
slow mo cam on the egg that's just
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
splatter
For
all
the
over
Oh
the
my
Nice.
God! It's almost off.
Yeah.
If we could add, the only thing that came to mind, some type of lawn darts that have somehow been illegal in the United States. You
Sharpened.
can't buy them. So if we could just pull that into the same thing.
Yeah.
Lawn dart and ice skating.
Yeah.
Okay,
You have to ice skate and shoot a lawn dart.
sure.
I think
I'm still stuck on the words quick and dirty.
I have two things I'd like to put up for vote.
Okay.
One is getting down an icy sidewalk without falling down in business shoes. I think that would be really compelling, right?
No, that's sexist because
No.
if you have stilettos, you're good. That'll cut right through the
I don't know.
snow.
Some of those Russian chicks maybe just wear the same shoes as men.
That might be.
You know?
It could
I mean,
be.
if they're in a hurry, it really doesn't make a difference.
I think you're really presenting yourself for a scandal in the judging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think
Because
so?
I think that's
I don't know if I go for style. I just like how
Yeah.
far can you
you
get?
go?
I think
Okay,
it's maybe
okay.
That's
just
one?
distance.
This is straight distance.
Time and distance, I think is what I go for. And if you were vertical when you pass the finish line.
Sure.
The other one I was thinking is I'm just coming up with this myself. I think we just take a slightly frozen over lake, not super thick, but enough that you can stand on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We take 2 participants from each country, right? And they have to stand in a circle, and then each one gets a pickaxe, and they take turns just chopping a hole around the other person, right? And first one that goes through loses.
Okay.
the Chinese would win every time.
Why?
Every time. Because they're each like 6 pounds.
Oh, because they're tiny?
They're tiny.
The Philippines would probably be able to get in there, though. I think they're-
Filipinos are pretty small too.
Yeah.
So I actually don't understand. So you're chopping your country-mate into the ice?
No, it's like U.S. versus Russia. We would do it in a tournament format.
Gotcha.
And you guys are just standing opposite of each other, and you
Gotcha.
get to swing.
So the 1 seed takes on the 16th.
Yes, exactly.
Seed and just chops them into the ice with no mercy.
Yeah, you would watch this.
I
would watch it.
I would watch that. If you did it with just like straight axes, like
Yeah, okay.
just like tree axes.
I'm willing to change it.
Sledgehammers? No, sledgehammers?
Yeah.
Like a
Some
splitter because it's
dull
a
object.
maul on one
Yeah.
side.
Originally, I was thinking machine guns, but I took it down a step.
I like axes.
Machine guns are a hot issue right now. So let's not go there.
We're not going there.
Right. See, that's why I pulled it back, because I'm reasonable.
As long as it's not on American soil.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so great. So I think we have some options that maybe the Olympics would be interested in. So now that we've picked a sport that maybe you would consider participating in as an Olympian, we're going to change things up and give you a totally different job entirely. You've been musicians. Obviously, you might be Olympic athletes in the future.
Clearly.
For tonight,
As he chugs a beer.
for this segment, we are going to make you media moguls. You are going to be the editor-in-chiefs of a brand new publication. You get to decide what makes the cut and what doesn't. This is a segment we call the Weather Report. So we, as your trusty reporters, we're going to give you news from around the internet that we found. You're going to let us know whether or not it makes it into your publication. Perhaps, if you'd like to, depending on how creative you are, let us know where in the publication it would go. I will let you know at the end of this segment, we're going to need a name for your brand new publication. So think about that. All right. So Victor, get us started off.
So this one cracks me up because, the whole the gun issue has been really on fire lately. The Second Amendment rights and blah, blah, blah. And everybody's all defending it. Like, that one's really not that important. This sort of shit is going on around the world. Egypt's Shireen, basically their Shakira, sentenced to prison over Nile joke. She said to a fan that drinking from the famous river might give them parasites. Drink Evian instead.
That's not
6 months in prison.
That's not a joke. That's like science.
That's like, don't drink from the Nile. You should drink Evian instead. If you say it with enough sass, it could be a joke.
Yeah.
6 months in prison.
Except literally, I would probably get a parasite if I drank from the Nile.
It's also not a lie, but what they charged her with was spreading false news.
No, that's not false news. You can literally get parasites from the Nile. How is that possible to be fake news?
So she had to give out like a public apology and blah, blah. It says, my beloved country, Egypt, and sons of my country, Egypt, I apologize to you with all my heart for any pain I may have caused you. Like, What's causing pain? You or the parasites? I'm
Right, yeah.
confused.
It's the fact that you are currently infested by amoebas. That's the issue.
Did you cause the parasites?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. So I think what we found out is that the whole fake news concept, where if somebody says something factual, you just yell fake news and then apparently throw them in prison. Has
But
spread-
elsewhere, you get thrown in prison. Here, you just, your Twitter gets blown up.
Yeah, exactly. So it's spreading around the world now. Awesome. That's
Yeah,
great.
sure.
Is it news?
So, my stupid brain just thinks that if people outside of the United States scream something, that they just go to jail anyway. So
That anyone
I
who
just thought that
speaks,
was
Speaks up, just goes to jail.
right? You're in Russia and you're like, this pastry is really good. Into jail!
Yeah.
You get into jail now! How dare
It's not
you?
a pastry. Or it's not that delicious.
That's just toast. Fuck you. Get into jail.
Putin does not put up with that.
No, not at all.
Not in the least.
So yeah, maybe I think you're right. Maybe most
Yeah.
people just get thrown in jail.
Yeah, and I don't know if fake news is even fake news anymore. Maybe fake news is just real news.
How is it possible that I know there's a fact that says that, like, per capita, there's more Americans incarcerated than any other country? How is that possible when literally if you say anything in any other country, you go to jail?
Well, fake news.
Yeah.
Well, most of the time, they just execute you.
That's what it
They
is.
don't exist.
Yeah, they
Drink
could-
Avion. Bang.
There you go. Cut
I
out
don't
the
know.
policy. The other question I also had was, how much does Avion have to do with this? Like,
Right.
where
How much
does
did they make off
that
of that?
sponsorship tentacle reach in this whole story?
Yeah. I hope they're at least lawyering up for her. I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus.
At least pay the bond and like get the
Yeah.
flight to get out of the country.
Do you think she still gets
something.
Avion in prison?
It's like shipped. Yeah, I think so.
Avion kind of
Nah,
tastes like prison
they
water
take the
anyway.
bottle.
So.
They take the bottle, they pour it out, and fill it with water from the Nile.
Oh,
Oh, see, it's all
There you
circle.
go.
She's like, don't drink toilet wine. Try Avion.
Toilet wine?
Yeah. Wine you make in your toilet because you're in prison.
Is that
how
a
much toilet wine have you had?
I feel like you guys have never tried toilet wine.
No, clearly.
It's delicious.
Please, is that what we are? Right?
Wow.
It's fruity. There's a great vintage just 2 weeks ago.
Sure.
Yeah. It's blindingly
Just
good.
wait for tonight. I had chili for dinner.
All I
That'll
can
be
picture in
some good
toilet
wine.
wine is
Toilet
just like a toilet full of urine with some grapes in it and just like scoop it up.
No, they like put it in a
Frozen
trash
grapes.
bag, right? And then they hide it in the toilet, and it's like juice and like some sugar and some yeast and stuff like that, and so that it'll ferment, and then it's just terrible, but you get drunk.
Oh, this
Wow.
is a real thing.
That's
real
a
thing.
thing.
Okay.
Why am I the one who's educating everyone?
Curling.
I've never been to
Apparently,
prison.
Curling
so-
he knows about now and
Yeah.
toilet wine. Like
I
you're
know.
blowing my mind, Keith, man.
Well-
Actually, Keith, I have some toilet wine knowledge, but it's not toilet wine; it's closet wine. When I was 19, my roommate in college and we couldn't buy alcohol yeast, so we bought bread yeast, put it in grape juice, and just doused it in sugar. Put it in a bottle and put a balloon on it. And when the balloon stopped inflating, we knew that all the yeast was dead.
Yeah.
Wow,
It was
that's pretty impressive.
But
Jeez.
we couldn't filter out the yeast. We put it through like coffee filters and shit, but yeast goes right through that.
Yeah.
So we couldn't
lot of
get any of it
sediment.
off. If you guys want the most bitter drink that has ever been created by mankind, let me get you a bottle of my closet wine.
Bring it on.
It'll get you drunk.
And it's why he wears glasses now.
It'll probably kill you.
It fucked him up. All right. So is it news? That's what we need to know.
I think it's like the inside, like the New York Post.
Yeah.
It's like New York Post has always been fake news. I feel like. Right?
Okay.
Can we say that? I don't know.
We
It's
don't
like
care.
it's not the first page. It's like that second page when I open it. It's like that left
there.
in
Okay.
the New York Post.
So you've made, but it's your publication. Is it making it in your publication?
Inside front page. Probably not.
No! Oh, he dragged you along like a bastard.
Yeah, sorry.
dangled hope in front of my
Adam
face.
and I also work very much individually, and I'm just gonna. It's not post for me, but I work on a small publication. It's the Rockingham Post from New Hampshire.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
only like you're gonna have to nail it.
Yeah. Okay.
Some local New Hampshire news is really gonna have
Hampshire.
to come through,
I'm
or it's gonna
gonna
have to be big time.
Fail so much at this. Okay. So
I
here's
got
what
one. The next one I give you will totally hit the mark.
Yeah. All right.
Perfect.
Bring it on.
Perfect.
All right,
Bring
we
it.
got to keep running through this though. Okay. Have you ever had one of those days where you lose your job, you break up with your girlfriend, so you like bet down a bottle of Johnny Walker and break into a Masonic temple and flood it, and pass out in its historic pipe organ surrounded by half-eaten cheeseburgers you were going to give to homeless people and a remote control police car and a toy gun? You ever one of those days?
No.
Okay, well, Glenn Langford from Brisbane, Australia, he did, and he apologizes for it. If you're ever curious what rock bottom looks like, it's what the Brisbane police saw when they arrested Glenn Langford the next day. So good news, he's very sorry. That's what he'd like to let everybody know. There was an interview, and he just said that he was really, really upset about it. He just had a little much to drink. But somehow, in his drunken state, he got like a dozen hamburgers, a remote control police car, and a toy gun, and then fell asleep in a pipe organ, surrounded by water, naked. Like, that's a dude that knows how to party. I'm just saying, you've never had a party like that in your life.
No.
So,
But that being said,
yeah,
that only happens in Australia and like southern Florida.
right. Well, I'm surprised he didn't also die because Australia's just trying to kill you. If you're that drunk, I'm surprised he just wasn't eaten by something.
Yeah,
But
sure.
somehow he made it through the night.
There's a snake in every organ.
Right, you would think.
If he didn't get snapped by one of those.
I assume he ate the snake organ before the cheeseburger.
He was super hungry.
So is it news? Does it make it in the publication?
Yeah, I would say
Yeah?
That's pretty fucking funny.
Awesome. All right.
It's almost headline news for me on the Rockingham Post because it would be like, I dare you, question mark.
It makes you feel better.
To follow this night, and for
Right.
my dumb New Hampshire idiot friends, like, I dare you to kind of match this type of behavior.
It's like the most amazing choose your own adventure book I've ever
Yes.
heard. Like that's the last page and you're like, I won.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
won this choose your own adventure.
I'm in an
you
organ.
can pretty much get all the way there until the Oregon, and then you got to put in some thought and effort.
Yeah. In an organ.
well, blackout
Yeah.
effort, like to get into that thing. Like, you just, how does that even happen?
Right.
Hey, long story short, my family boat, Adam's been on it many times. It's on the Gold Coast of Australia right now.
Oh.
Crazy. So
Yeah.
we're just going to link that up.
Let's do that. All right. All right. Next one, Victor.
Here we go. So let's see here. Man spends whole morning laughing at people slipping on ice.
It's just me all the time.
That's I was looking through the internet, finding great, not so great stuff. I'm like, okay, this could work. This probably won't. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's going in. That's the best thing I've heard all day. He spent his whole morning filming hapless walkers navigate the icy path under his flat window. He is heard laughing as he films not one, not two, but 21 people eat shit on the ice.
Those aren't just people. Those are future Olympians.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was thinking,
That
like,
event's
this
coming.
this ties up really well with Keith's new Olympic sport. 'Cause
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a challenge.
Absolutely.
And I'm thinking, New Hampshire, like, I bet you that shit happens all the time in New England.
I no doubt actually spent an entire afternoon just watching videos of car after car sliding down a hill into each other and just laughing maniacally.
Yeah.
Because somebody would get to the top of the hill and be like, no, it's going to be fine. And then they would just slowly, it was all slow motion. They weren't going fast, but they would just slow motion collide into cars all the way down, pinball down. And then the
They
next
don't
guy
even
would be
do
like,
damage. It's just like clunk.
and then the next guy would be like, I got this. And
Nope.
Dink.
Makes me feel bad for kind of the reporter, but maybe they just know what they're getting into. Like when the winter season comes around, it's like, are you on the ice slipping beat? Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
got 30 people coming up. Oh yeah, I got 40 maybe.
it's a slow day, not a lot of news. Like, let's
Yeah.
just tape these
Let's just
guys.
take it. Yeah, let's just set up a camera and watch these people fall down. Watch this guy taping people fall down.
I got a couple
Well,
things
my
on
favorite
that.
part. My favorite part of this whole thing is that towards the end, it's like this means that it's like there's an increase in heavier snow weather in the north. Blah 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 blah. blah. This means there's a significant chance of danger to life. So
bum, bum.
pedestrians are encouraged to not walk. I don't know. What are you going to do about that?
So for moving down here, that's for me a big Atlantic difference for me.
Yeah.
So you mentioned New Hampshire. Like, I feel like if that was, everyone just has kind of a portable blowtorch in New Hampshire, just like kind of melt the ice in front of them. Down here,
What? Wait, hold on. You can't
You
gloss
can't
over
just
that.
brisk over that.
No.
Everyone
yeah.
has flamethrowers in New Hampshire.
Yeah, you're just working on the job. You probably just have some. You just have something on your hip, so you just kind of melt it out of the way. When I first moved down here, actually, Adam,
We grew up in New England together.
Shovel
we
again.
moved, we moved in New England together, and he first moved down here the first winter. And the first ice storm that we got, he worked, I don't know, a mile and a half away from our place.
Falls Church.
It took him several hours to get home because of exactly what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Just cars rolling into each other.
Oh,
He
yeah.
walked through the door, and he just screamed.
It took me like 2 hours to go like a mile and a half.
It's like, no
should've
one
just-
knows
you
how to
should've just
handle
walked.
this.
Yeah.
Like, get a personal welder and get your shit on.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. So is it news? Does it make it into the publication? Oh, you've had a long time to think about this. Please.
I know. I mean, I'll say yeah. It doesn't even have to be. It's in the news. Yeah.
I mean, it's up to you. I didn't tell you how your
That's a
publication
yes.
is.
Yes.
He said yes.
Yes.
Are you into?
It gets on our website, video page.
Website. That's what I was gonna say. It's more of a video thing because I want to see the actual guy filming the people falling.
That's fine. I'll
It's
take it.
great.
All right.
Thank you.
Next up, we're running out of time here, so we got to keep rolling. Texas police shoot man who disarmed possible church shooter. Yes, so a man pulled out a gun. He was holding about 100 Faith City Mission congregants hostage. In the time between police were dispatched and when they arrived, a handful of churchgoers wrestled the guy down, took his gun. Officers entered the building, saw one of the churchgoers holding a gun, and opened fire. Yeah, so
Is he dead?
He was the hero we don't deserve, but the hero that we need to shoot.
That's so mean.
It's true. He did make it out alive. He went to urgent care and was stabilized, so he's okay. Nobody else got hurt, including the guy who came into the church with the gun and had the police called on him. But it does give you something to think about, that we can't even recognize if the person with the gun is a threat when they're literally the opposite of the threat. Like,
Scary.
he neutralized the threat, and we're like, threat, shoot him. So is it news, guys?
It's news. I mean, it's news to me because the subject has just gotten to the point. You can't see me, but I was just rubbing my eyes in disbelief. And it's almost not disbelief at this point. It's just, come on.
It was just you coming in the door and going, fuck!
Come on, America. Come on, man.
Adam, you in on it too?
I think it's news. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Victor, how about you?
America gets so much worse. Are you ready for this? This is
Slap it on top,
is-
dude.
This is yo mama jokes going way too far. Man murdered after WhatsApp argument over who was least gay.
Wait, so he wanted to be more gay? I don't
No,
understand
he
what
was-
happened.
He said, all right, they have parts of the conversation here. It's they're part of a WhatsApp group called Ice City Boys, boys with a Z.
Okay.
The defendant called the victim a baddie boy, and he retorted, "On your mom's life, I'm straighter than you." So he drove like 25 miles to this guy's dorm and stabbed him to death. So violently that the knife broke apart, and that's how they caught him. They found part of the knife.
Yeah. Oh, man. For the record, I believe him. I think he's straight. Because I don't think a gay guy would drive 25 miles to stab someone.
I don't know.
Especially
You
now
know,
with his penis.
If he broke the knife off, maybe he's just like, I'm leaving a
I
mark.
just want to know, like, where are you digging, Victor, to find these stories?
Jeez.
The internet. Have you heard of the internet? It's a horrible place.
It's so deep.
And most of the internet is located
No,
on Reddit.
I'm saying no.
You're saying no.
Yeah,
Not
no,
news.
I don't want to promote this. Let's knock this kind of
Yeah.
stuff down.
All right.
Fine.
That was a quick one. All right.
He's like, screw you guys. Let me drink my beer. I wanted that
He
one.
was going
definitely
home.
good. He's like, I wanted front page.
All right. Last but not least, I think, right? I'm finishing this up. I'm so glad we talked earlier because I found news that is going to get absolutely in sync with what we talked. Japan Snow Battle Federation is looking to make snowball fights an Olympic event.
Oh my God, I love NSYNC.
Yeah.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
Yes, essentially they've got the rules. It's 2 teams of 7. They square off in a 10 by 36 meter court to have a snowball fight. The team who manages to either eliminate all their opponents by hitting them or capture the opponent's flag is declared the winner. By next May, they hope to have the world's first international governing body of snowball fights set up.
Wow.
This could be a thing, people.
It could be a thing. I think American Gladiators finally made it over there, and they were so inspired that they just
Right.
like, oh, this has to be an Olympic sport.
There's so much that goes into it because you've got strength and accuracy of like the throwing.
Yep.
You've got the agility of like dodging, but then you have to like form snowballs. So there's like a crafting piece of that. There's so much that goes into this. It's a really good sport, I think.
Yeah, we don't know the details between, what does a snowball consist of? How big can it be? How compact
temperature
can it
does
be?
it
Yeah,
need
it
to be?
can't be full of ice, I think.
Anything that has capture the flag in it, I'm in on.
Right.
And anything Japanese is clearly going to be wild and crazy and kinky. So
Yeah.
that's going to be
Kinky.
pretty good.
No, yeah, absolutely.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think the only way they could make this better is if they had to do the snowball fight naked in an organ surrounded by cheeseburgers. Right? Like,
Yeah.
that would be.
I'm
I was
tuning
about to
in,
make a
man.
no strings attached joke to go with my NSYNC joke, but that's so much better. I surrender the point.
Naked and cheeseburgers wins all the time. This
Oregon.
With a toy gun.
All right, so maybe a brand new Olympic sport. Is it news?
I'm going to go back the video route. Like, I think if I could see representation in a video
Hey.
of what this would be, I'll say yes.
You've got a
I'll say
website,
yes.
right? Okay.
I didn't see pictures. It's going to go on the back page of the Rockingham Post because I think I got a lot of sluggers in the NH that can get in
Excellent.
there.
All right, cool. Well, today,
It's always filled with snow, so of course they're stoked about that.
well, this episode, it looks like I overwhelmingly won. I actually got a landslide. Every single thing made it in. Victor had one story in. Most important question, though, what's the name of your new publication? You've had all segment to think about it. What do we got?
Mine is going to be called Simple Minds.
Simple Minds. I like it. I think that's what we should rename the podcast. Adam, are you going with Simple
There we go.
Minds?
I like Simple Minds. I like the Grizzly Grisette.
The Grizzly Brissette. All right. Excellent.
These, ladies and gentlemen, these are 2 very bearded guests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guests, so you know. And Keith, of course, is unable to grow a beard.
I am a simple mind. So
Very jealous.
So it's very appropriate. Awesome. Well, that gets us out of the weather report. Great job. I know
you.
this is your first day on the job, but you did really well.
We're trying.
So let's talk a bit more about you and your band. We didn't even touch on it to begin with, which is horrible. As
that why
a
we're here?
host.
We're
I
here?
was supposed to
Oh,
do
yeah.
that. So obviously you guys are from Buffalo 40. You guys have a show coming up. It's Friday, March 9th at O'Shaughnessy's. Is that right?
Yeah.
Excellent. That's an
Osag
Alexander.
Hennessy.
Yes.
Hennessy's.
Oh, Hennessy's. That's in Alexandria, Virginia.
Old Town.
In Old Town, yeah, which is a beautiful part of Alexandria. And we have a track of yours called "Troublin On My Mind," which is coming from a new EP that hasn't been released yet. This is going to be the world premiere of this track.
World premiere. We should have a stinger for world premiere.
All right,
Shit.
there you go.
There we go.
Engineer Adam, we need a stinger for world premiere. World premiere.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, something like that. If people want to hear more about you guys, your shows coming up, more music, they can go to www.buffalo40, the number 40, right? .com. So those are the important things out of the way. I do have one other thing I want to touch on. I don't know if you are aware of this, but do you know how many iterations of the word buffalo make up the longest sentence in the English language that consists of one word? Are you aware of this?
No.
No? Did you? So if you take the word buffalo 8 times and put it after each other, so buffalo, 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 that's an actual English sentence.
What?
Yeah. So it basically is saying that like buffalo who confused, because if you buffalo someone, you're confusing them. You can buffalo someone.
Okay.
Right. And then there's the city buffalo. Right. So it's basically like, it's like confused buffalo from the city of Buffalo that confuse buffalo who are confused from the city of Buffalo. Like that you're referring to them.
That should be an Olympic sport.
Yeah, so it's basically that they're saying that confused buffaloes from the city of Buffalo confuse buffaloes that are confused from the city of Buffalo.
On and on and on.
And so
Buffalo.
Yeah. So 8 buffalo. So there you go.
Not 40.
So just for
40
the
times.
record,
Can we make it 40?
I know that you don't yet have a name for your EP. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to put up something.
Are you hinting at something?
I'm just saying, if you wanted a compelling name.
Buffalo, 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 Buffalo.
Yeah, that would be the name of the EP.
40.
40.
And somebody in the background just whispers, Buffalo. It's real quiet.
Just something to think about.
So officially, the word buffalo now, the syllables buffalo, completely meaningless. I can't hear that word with meaning anymore. It's just, it sounds absurd now.
There's a scientific thing about that. If you like listen to a word too many times or write it, it just
I'm completely buffaloed.
yeah, your brain just
You're
goes.
out.
Wow. Yeah, you did that to me.
You got buffaloed by buffalo.
Maybe we change the name now.
Just, I'm all sixes and sevens.
We're
man.
simple minds.
Simple minds, man.
Now we're simple minds.
Pastry 40. Good
Buffalo.
pastry 40. Into jail with you. So tell us a little bit about Troublin On My Mind, because we have a clip of it here that we're going to play. If people are interested and want to hear the whole track, they can fast forward to the 1 hour mark of this show and listen to the entire track. But can you set this up for us? Tell us about Troublin On My Mind.
Sure, yeah. It's a original of ours. We've been doing originals for a long time. This one came across. I had a kind of a set of lyrics going on and a little bit of a melody and rhythm, and brought it into our practice space and kind of played it with the band for a couple times. And like usually how it goes, Adam kind of got a hold of it and gave the idea to kind of slow down and halftime the chorus, and
Made it good.
From where
Not to interrupt, but dude, crack that beer. Just open it. Nobody's judging you.
There you
There you go.
Look at
All
that.
right, you're
Theater
good.
of the
Anyway.
mind.
We have to share this one because we only brought a 3-pack. That's how we do it. That's how we do it in
I didn't
there.
even know they're worth 3 packs. That's amazing.
Well, when you drink two on the way.
Yeah.
So
There's a 5-pack? What's going on here?
Hey, you
That's
knew
right.
a lot about curling. We know a lot about 5-packs. Okay, man.
yeah. Together we can crush a 6-pack in weird situations and write a song. That's basically what Buffalo 40 is all about.
There we go.
That pretty much sums it up. There's no questions else.
Well, in that case, let's take a listen to Troublin' On My Mind from your brand new EP, Buffalo, 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 Buffalo,
40.
40. It goes like this.
That is old school right there.
Yeah, you guys are rocking out on that. That's great.
Yeah.
Although I can't imagine, you said he slowed it down. This is pretty rocking.
Chorus goes halftime. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
That's my man Adam
Yeah.
on the lead right there. So give it a minute. Let's get to the chorus.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll make it to the chorus.
Oh, we'll get there.
No, I have no idea.
Coming around.
No, we have to listen to Rich more.
We'll see.
Here it comes. Right here.
Adam gave us a lot of music.
Bang. Here it comes. 2,
Yep.
3, 4.
Oh, there it is. Oh, see, we fade
Wait
out
a second.
there.
Oh,
Let me
wow.
call.
We're leaving.
Hey,
We're not going to give you the
this
whole
is your
thing right away.
cousin,
Yeah.
Marvin Berry. You know that new sound you've been looking for?
Listen to this. That is that's great, guys. Yeah, we
Thanks, man.
faded out in the good parts, so people are like, I have to hear more.
That's right.
If you want to hear more, you can fast forward to the 1 hour mark of this show. Listen to the entire track at your leisure. This is great, guys. What would you say that genre is? What do you guys? Is this emblematic of what you play on a regular basis, or is this
Yeah.
the
I don't know.
outlier?
I think I always like meat and potatoes rock.
Yeah,
You
okay.
know, which is like not all of what we do, but I think that song is like goes back to Rich's roots, goes back to my roots, like rock and roll.
There's a little southernish,
The little southern tinge,
there.
which
Yeah.
is totally
Yeah.
Rich, and his dad influence on him. Which is great. It's like the perfect balance. And then there's like this little bit of maybe there's a little saxophone solo coming at the end to throw you. Maybe you're gonna dance a little bit on
Was
that
there a
end.
little sax at the end there?
What's the little sax at the end?
I'll tune in, find out.
But yeah,
All
man,
right.
I say like straight up, yeah, it's kind of that meat and potatoes kind of country rock, but obviously with a new
and
little
you
bit
get
of
a
flair.
little sex at the end.
Little sex. Yeah. Little sex.
Sex.
No strings
Not
attached.
bad.
We're going to talk a little bit more about sex with you guys later.
Word up.
But before we do that, we have to maybe earn that a little bit because we've got a little segment that we call Please God, Just Get One Right. This is where our last guest, J-Dubs, which is spelled JDVBBS. Go look him up and thank him for giving you this particular category. He picked a category for you that we're going to do a quick game show, just a trivia quiz show. You're not expected to get a lot right here because it's going to be pretty tough. But if you get one right, you get to pick a prize out of the box of fun from Uncle Archie, and you get to open that here live on the show. So without further ado, since we're running a little behind, we're going to jump straight into it if you guys are ready. Good?
But just
Do it.
please, God, just get one right.
Yes.
Right?
One. How many questions do we have?
6 questions.
Whoa. All right.
Yep.
I think we're good. 1 for 6. Bring it
Yep.
on.
That's all you need.
Yep.
At a
Open it
depth,
up, Keith.
At a depth of 10,898 to 10,916 meters below sea level, the lowest point on Earth is named what?
The lowest point on Earth has
yeah.
a name.
It has a name. Yes.
10,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
That is a book.
know.
You've named a book.
20,000. You ignoramus.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
That's true. It's not even the right book.
It's not even the right. That's exactly right.
I'm literally currently reading that book.
Rich, do you have one?
Yes.
Yeah. What's your guess?
20,000 leagues under the sea.
Same guess. No, still wrong. All right. No, it is called Challenger Deep. You might have heard of that. Have you not heard that before?
In the Mariana Trench.
Right. It's in the Mariana Trench, which is the western part of the Pacific Ocean, in the western part of the Pacific Ocean. So, yeah, if anybody asks you the deepest part of the ocean, therefore the lowest point on Earth, Challenger Deep is what it's called.
So this is all about
Deep.
water, basically, oceans.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even say
Aquatics.
the category.
Yeah,
I should
the
have.
category.
I would have got that. I think we would have
guys?
got that. We would have narrowed it right off the bat. If
You think
gotta
so?
give us, yeah. No.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Marine biology. Marine
Okay.
biology is the category.
That's vague.
Yeah, it's a pretty big
Oh,
category.
yeah. So,
yeah, what do you
speaking
got,
of
Victor?
big, proportional to its body, this sea creature has the largest penis of any other in the world.
So not the largest penis, but the proportionately largest penis.
Oh, so it could be okay.
Not necessarily
Manatee.
the largest.
I'll say
penis.
no. Okay, before you guess like walrus, it's a little guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, then really
Because if it was
throws
pro-
me off.
Because if it was a blue whale and it had the most proportionally large penis, it would just be a penis. Right? Like,
Yeah, true.
New
So repeat
definition
the
of
question.
blue
Repeat the
balls.
question one more time. Sorry.
Proportionate to its body, this sea creature has the largest penis.
Okay. So yeah, it threw off all my guesses right off the bat. So
It's its reproductive organ makes up literally a third of its body.
Jesus.
oh, that narrows it
Trump.
down. Trump.
No, Trump is too I'm convinced he's two 6-year-olds in a trench coat. You give up?
Yeah, I give up.
You're gonna hate me so much.
wait.
Oh,
I'm gonna say I don't even know if this counts as a sea creature.
Adam has one.
Stingray.
Solid guess.
Yeah,
no, stingray is mostly stingray. A third of the barnacle is its penis.
The old barnacle.
I thought Adam was going to be like, I don't know if this is technically a sea creature,
but
an
is it
elephant.
me?
a hawk.
Like, no, not even close to a sea creature.
He could have been like,
Thanks for trying, dude.
I don't know if it's a sea creature, but is it Adam from Buffalo 40?
Fact.
All right. Here's an interesting one I found out. What is coral used for in the human body? Coral has a use in the human body. What is it used for?
I knew this at one point.
You're just whispering.
We're just whispering like you knew it.
You don't have to whisper. It's not like you're cheating if you.
What is it used
consult
in, like
with each
medical
other.
purposes? Like people have repurposed coral to be like our ear as cartilage.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I think that could be something.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Let's say it was repurposed as cartilage
Repurpose this cartilage. Do you have anything you want to add to that? I'm not gonna say yes or no yet.
Who, me?
or
Yeah.
bone. Coral's strong as shit. Coral like can mess you up.
I feel like because he asked me, the cartilage is wrong. So I'm going to say heart valves.
Heart valves. So we have cartilage. We have heart valves. You were so close.
I know.
Bone transplants.
Pretty close.
They actually are using it
was
for
gonna say,
bone transplants.
That
So
was going to be my third.
the chemical composition of coral has been found to be very close to that of human bones.
We were close. We're not even marine biologists.
Yeah,
Nope.
not bad.
Or
right?
people that know facts on the internet.
If you had one more band member, you probably would have gotten it. You
My
convinced them
mom went to
you
school
go.
to be a marine biologist.
Yeah, how did that
Then
work out?
she could answer this
She's a
question.
teacher, so close.
Is it a marine biologist teacher?
Yes.
Okay, well that works then. Victor, what do you got?
Ready?
Yep.
This type of sea creature can revert its cells back to a previous stage of development, effectively rendering it immortal. What type of creature is this?
I know what this is.
Its name is the immortal what?
I know the answer, and I didn't look it up.
Is it one? I feel like it's one of those things that does this.
You're just waving your hands back and forth.
I feel,
A palm
you're
tree?
technically one of
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Keith is bragging about a show that like he's had in production for a minute. Like,
Yeah, right.
who knows? You didn't know that. Like,
Yeah.
it's the immortal sea creature.
The immortal
Oh,
sea creature.
nailed it!
Sea urchin.
No.
Sea urchin.
Sea urchin. That's a good one.
Solid guess?
Do you want
Both
a
of you?
more
They-
specific guess?
No,
Nope. Sea creature and sea
no,
urchin.
I don't want any pity.
Can I get a guess
Swamp
in
thing.
here?
Get it.
Yeah, let's have
I
Keith.
believe it is jellyfish.
It is a jellyfish. The immortal
I
jellyfish.
hate those jellyfish.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Those
I would have
fuckers
guessed
are
that.
mean. They sting you and they never die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's this
That's like-
one species, this one subsect of jellyfish can just kind of like, I don't like adulting anymore. Restart.
It turns like into a polyp again or something, and then boom,
Right.
back
From
into
when they
jellyfish.
sting you or from.
Just whenever they're not feeling good. Like,
Do you know what's funny is I knew that, but I've been drinking.
Dig deeper, man.
all right, I got another one for you. So Victor recently had a baby. That's not a question. Actually, to be honest, his fiance had a baby. However, if they had both been this marine species, Victor would have had to give birth. What marine creature is the only species on Earth where the male gives birth? Only species on Earth.
This is definitely like one of those pub trivias that has come
Yeah.
up probably multiple times.
Sure.
I'm
Yep, Rich thinks he's got it.
pretty sure I know.
What is this?
Here we go.
Starfish?
Oh, interesting. Do you have one, Adam? Are you going with starfish or are you
I
going
mean,
with something else?
it has to be one. Or we each get our own.
I'll give you each one. That's fine. We've been doing that the entire time so far. So.
I want to stick with one of those random creatures. I want to say sea urchin again.
Sea urchin.
Keep going to sea urchin,
Just
man.
stick with it at one point.
7 out of like 7 million. You're bound to get
Yeah.
it right.
All right.
no.
Good thing we have 7 million more questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no, neither of you were right. You were half right. It did start with the word sea. It's seahorse.
It's the
actually.
seahorses.
Yeah.
I'm in love with them. I'm in love with the seahorses. I love the seahorse. I love they're
course.
like all the clocks. I love them. I love
interesting-
seahorses and seahorse things.
Dan
Yeah.
Deacon.
Interesting thing, they also have to eat almost constantly because they don't have a stomach.
So just constantly in the front door, out the back.
I assume they just eat and it just goes right out the back as
Right
they're
through.
eating. Yeah.
That's tough existence.
You swallow. Imagine pooping every time you swallow. That would be so difficult.
Hell of metabolism, man.
Right. But you would think where you'd have to be to eat. Like
Yeah.
it makes dates really difficult.
You
I'm
gotta
just
stop
saying.
to give birth. I've
let's
seen a
get
video
Mexican.
of a
Ooh.
male seahorse giving birth, and it's like it just looks exhausting, man.
Because
Yeah.
They give birth to like hundreds.
yeah, they just go ah!
It just
babies
blows out of their belly.
Yeah. And there's just baby seahorses all over the place. It looks like
right
this,
out of the penis.
like
Yeah.
sea monkeys. It's like they just and then they just everywhere. All right, last
So-
but not least.
If you had gotten a question right, I'd have given you a bullshit question, which would have been like, if Keith was a sea monkey,
Yeah.
what would his name be?
What would that have been?
However,
What would
here's
be the
your-
answer? No, tell me the answer about the sea monkey.
Tiberius. So the real
Why?
question is, this sea creature has a natural antibiotic in its blue blood. Humans catch, extract, and release some of that blood
I
in
know-
hopes of furthering some medical science.
I know this one. I pet one just last weekend.
Blue blood is the biggest
Pet's a
clue
weird
here.
word for it, but I did touch one.
pet.
It was in a touch tank, and I touched it.
I'll say a turtle.
Strong.
Sea turtle, to be exact.
That would be a good sea creature. Yeah.
Solid.
I want to say
Da-da-da-da-da.
you're maybe pulling one on us.
Yeah.
Seahorse again.
There's not a lot of blood in a seahorse.
Whoa,
It's
there might
constantly
not be, but
spitting it
blue
out.
blood is rare.
Yeah,
and
that's
everybody
true.
knows that. And he's just pumping out semen everywhere. So maybe some blue bloods.
All right,
involved.
Victor, can I guess?
What you got,
I
Keith?
have no idea. First of all, I have no idea why Rich keeps moving the microphone towards him and away from him. He's-
He has
Can
gaseous
you hear me now, or
explosions.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
It's because I have to cough like, ha! And then I do this. It's a professional move.
noticing
Everyone knows,
that too.
anyone who works with the mic knows. You have to move the mic away. Ha! And then you bring it back.
all right.
Right.
So my guess is the horseshoe crab.
Boom. Nailed it. So,
Yeah.
Keith, you get to draw from the box of fun.
I get
Wow.
presents that I bought.
He got 2 right. You guys, between
out
the
of that
2
thing,
of you.
man.
None. Oh man.
Yeah, we're not big bio guys.
we were pretty close on one of those.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. The coral one I thought you were gonna get. I couldn't like
did
hint-
say-
I wanted to
bone.
say bone, but I was
Yeah.
like,
when you said, "Hey, it's really tough." I mean, it could be bone. I was like, "Oh, he's on it."
You should have
Yeah.
whispered it to me through the mic. They can't hear that. Yeah.
Well, here's the
got
good
there.
news. You guys get to pick the subject matter for next week's guest.
Yes. So
And the show doesn't get released until next week, so there's no way they can know.
Perfect.
Yep. What would you like to inflict on the next guest of Another Wasted Hour? What subject?
I got one if you don't.
what do you go ahead? What do you have?
Would you have one?
I mean, we could go with like nature shit. I was gonna say volcanoes.
Oh, okay.
Volcanoes would be tough.
Yeah.
Volcanoes would be really tough.
You want to go with
do you
volcanoes?
I
Volcanography.
was just gonna go
Celtics from the '82 team squad or something like that.
He's gonna go with Buffalo.
Robert Parrish's statistics from the Celtics.
yeah. What was no, I was actually gonna say Civil War Confederate generals.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay, which one would you like? We have volcanoes and we have
Let's go
Civil War generals.
Let's go volcanoes.
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 I only know 2.
Dante's Peak, bud.
So there we go, everybody. Listen up next week to hear if our next guest can answer. Just God, get one right on the subject of volcanoes. Unfortunately, Buffalo 40, you do not get a prize, but we'd like to learn a little bit more about you anyway. So we're gonna move on to what we call near and far.
Near. Go far again.
Far's after near. That's how that works. Yeah.
Far.
Yeah.
See?
See?
That's what it's all about.
Yep.
I understand.
Yeah.
It's after the other one.
All right. So what we need from you is 2 stories. We know that the life of the musician is an interesting one. One close to home. This could be about the creative process or practices or someplace that's maybe like home away from home. That's also, we're not real strict on the rules here. And then maybe a story about out in your adventures, touring around, going to the studio, any of those types of things. So where would you like to start? Near or far?
Sure. You got anything, Adam?
I mean, I have some. It depends on where you want to go. I mean, I think far is a good starting point.
All right.
Sure.
Let's start with far.
Well, I was looking at you. Maybe you had something about a far for like an idea for like a song that was like home based. Near would be our studio or something.
No, my far came. That's really like
You guys could have discussed this before the show, just so you know.
no.
You guys could have
Actually,
told the story by now.
I thought about contacting him, but I thought it'd go better if it went like this, but I was wrong. My far, which came from your description of possibly a show
Uh-huh.
that we had done.
Okay.
It actually comes from a guy who's not in the band anymore. His name's Tim.
Tim?
Good friend of
Tim
ours.
Chapin.
Okay.
It was our first like decent sized gig. It was
Yeah.
at DC9 in
Oh,
Down
yeah.
in DC, yeah.
in
So this is our
Rockville,
near story,
in DC. And actually, Adam had come down from New York, and and Tim is a really likable. No one doesn't like Tim.
Okay.
We love
So
you,
it's,
Scott.
it's really hard to get mad at Tim.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just a likable guy.
Tim also thinks that he's a lot better at playing the bass when he's drunk.
Than he actually is.
He's like, I got this, guys. This is
And he also, it does kind of have a little bit of a sweet spot, so you like encourage it a little bit.
right. You get a little more in the pocket, and then it just goes all the way out of the pocket.
You loosen up, and then he loosens up to the point where he thinks he's, all of fish in one. So,
All right, so at DC9 this happened.
So this night we actually had a terrific show, but this night the story actually comes before we went on stage. We were walking up, and we had all seen Tim like doing quite a few shots of whiskey, and then he went to the bathroom, and he threw up a lot
Before stage presence.
right before stage, like we were walking on for stage, and he came up. Was like, Tim, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I just threw up. It's good, man. Like, well, I just needed to get it out. I just needed to get it out. Like, Tim, what are you talking about, man? He's like, no, it's good, man. It's good. It's like, this is the preparation that you need. Like, you need to do like 14 or 15 whiskey shots and then throw up half of them and then walk on the stage, and then we'll finish it off by the end of the set.
Right.
And we'll be ready to go.
Right, this is the Jimi Hendrix experience that we're going through right now.
Yeah. And it was a terrific set. We brought a lot of energy. That's, he brought a lot to the stage. That's
He's
for
like,
sure.
oh yeah, I love this. Right.
Yeah.
You're like, Tim, you're not even holding your bass right now.
Yeah.
I'm playing bass, Tim, for you. What's going on,
Hold
dude?
it down, baby.
Did he end up in the sweet spot because he drank too much but then threw most of it up?
Middle
He-
of the late. I
He
feel
got
like.
middle of the late, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
So it wasn't bad. No, he came through.
So what? Actually, here's the thing. He was right. Right? He was right.
Yeah. This whole story, like we're laughing at him, but at it was one of our better shows.
Yeah, he's like, no, guys, I got this. 15 shots, throw up, 3 minutes later, then that's perfect.
Rule of thumb for any new band, like just trust your bassist who wants to drink 1,000 whiskey shots before it's show.
And puke in an alley outside in the back.
Yeah.
No way it could go badly. That's
For all you aspiring musicians out there, now you know.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Bingo. Got it. Nailed
Steps
it.
to success.
Exactly.
the burning reminds me why I'm passionate about music. So I assume he's no longer part of the band because he's dead. That's what I.
Yeah, too many whiskey shots, man. I'm sorry.
Essentially, yeah.
He lived a great
essentially.
life. He's like Jim Morrison, he's just down.
Went
He's
out
just-
early.
Yeah.
One whiskey shot to the next. He moved to California. We'd love to have him with us. Love you, Tim.
Yeah. How about close to home? What do you have? Something near? We have maybe just a minute and a half, 2 minutes left.
Near?
Yeah.
What do you got?
So the only thing I was going to talk about is not to get too sentimental, but Em and I have known each other for going on 25 years here.
Oh, we're talking about us.
We're
Yeah.
talking about us here. So
You only got a minute, man.
Adam moved down to DC in with me, and when we really kind of struck a chord on this music thing, we found the DVD of the band The Last Waltz.
Oh. Okay.
And in no less than probably 6 months, we watched that, I don't know,
Every Friday.
every Friday.
It's like, when old people go out, they stay at home and watch like their crappy movies.
Yeah.
We stayed home on Friday and smoke pipes and watch The Last Waltz and drink like Narragansetts or something. I don't know.
Hey,
don't
It was like
feel
a
bad.
Friday for like a lot of weekends.
For a long
Don't feel
time.
bad. I used to
fucking
watch
doing
Move
it.
On
were
twice a
stoked.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome though. So that's the connection that you guys have.
Well, yeah, it goes back far, but
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
second grade. I know this kid's in second grade.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow, that's
yeah.
cool.
It's weird that like again close to home. We grew up in New Hampshire together. I went away. Long story short, came back, and now we've always loved music. Our parents love music. It's been a thing that's been in both our families, big time.
But that's when it connected.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We got back and we're like, all right, now I know how to play guitar because like we never really jammed before that. So it was like, oh, sick. All right,
Yeah.
we-
and then we
both
just
had-
kind of grew from there.
Oh, that's great.
Figured
guys.
how to play a little bit, listened to some stuff that we liked, and went from there.
So
And for those of you who don't know, The Last Waltz is about a crocodile and a hippo.
That's right.
no,
Exactly.
What? No,
That's what we're talking about, right?
Martin Scorsese, come on, man.
That's Fantasia, I think is what you're talking about. All right, that's all the time we have. Thank you so much for coming, guys. Did you have a good time?
Oh, I had a great
Yeah,
time.
Awesome, very much. Also coming up this week, Friday, March 9th, Jason Mendelsohn's at the Ugly Mug in Washington, D.C. Saturday, March 10th, Box Era is at Jam and Java in Vienna, Virginia. Obviously, don't forget Friday, March 9th, O'Shaughnessy's in Alexandria, Virginia. Go check out Buffalo 40. The guys right here. Please like our posts, follow us, retweet us, share the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We cannot do this without you. Don't forget to review us on Facebook, iTunes, and Google Play. Thanks to Kevin Evinger, to McNally22, to Justin Rogers, to Pigmental Records, Alchemical Records, and Engineer Adam for all their contributions. Thanks most of all to Buffalo 40 for wasting a perfectly good hour with us.
Beautiful.
This has been another wasted hour, and if you just realized that, don't blame us. We warned you.